everyone, it's Chanel, aka Dr. Shani. If you don't know me already, my full name is Chanel Smith and I'm a fourth year, going into my fifth year now, student at the University of Bristol. And as you can see, I'm joined by my brother here. And MJ, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Michael. Obviously, I'm Chanel's brother.
Unfortunately.
I'm about to go into my second year studying French and Spanish at Oxford University.
So we are here today to talk to you about this. Ta-da! So recently, you can see it on my Instagram because I posted it recently if you want to check out a bit more about the award. But I recently won the Pious Adna Sambi Memorial Student Award for Outstanding Pan-Africanism. So I was awarded it by Face Bristol. So thank you, Face. Today we're going to talk about the award, but we want to talk about why the award exists in the first place, about the man behind it and his legacy. Then both of us are going to cover our story because I didn't feel right talking about the award today by myself because so many of the things that I did, I definitely wasn't alone. There were so many other amazing volunteers and so many great people that have contributed towards my journey. I really wanted to recognise all those people as well. But lastly as well, today, me and my brother both want to talk about ways that other people can help to empower Black communities, because I think that being recognised for the award was great, and I'm really, really grateful for that. But I think that it's definitely not the end of our journey. And if anything, I think the whole process has inspired us to want to continue to contribute more to Black communities. And we also want to use this platform to inspire other people to also do the same. So the first thing that I think we need to discuss is what Pan-Africanism really means. So MJ, do you want to start off by talking about Pan-Africanism? So what does Pan-Africanism mean to you?
Yeah, so I guess at its most basic level, Pan-Africanism, I guess the pan comes from the Greek word meaning all. In that case, it's all about bringing together people from African descent. So whether you're living in the African continent or you live in diaspora, so you might become of African descent but living in the UK, America, wherever you are, I think there's value in everyone striving together for a common goal, whether it's for economic, social, political improvement. If you're working together within a community, I think you can achieve far better results than when you're isolated states. And so I think this sense of community is all the more important now, especially with COVID-19. It shows that our lives are all interconnected in some way, and it would be ignorant of us to ignore these undeniable links. And although these things have not worked out in Britain with us leaving the EU, I think that Africa can do a better job than them, and we can be more united in our aims.
We can do a better job than the EU.
I mean, we're not technically part of it now, so
Yeah.
we've kind of shooting our shot.
Yeah. Okay. And then secondly, we're going to talk about Pious Adna Sambi. I hope I'm saying his name right, by the way. That's how I think it's spelled. He was born in Nigeria. He's written a lot of poetry. He's written a lot of books and won a lot of awards for his work. They were a bit satiric. So he would talk about the...
Satirical.
Oh. Satirical. So this is why he goes to Oxford and not me.
Say it again.
His work was quite satirical. So he would talk about the absurd nature of the political system in Nigeria. His writings were very well known, and he, for many years, was a regular columnist for Premium Times and Sahara Reporters. He was highly educated. He got a first-class honours and went on to study a master's and then a PhD in French studies. And he was assistant professor of comparative literature at the Pennsylvania State University in USA. He became a fellow of the French Institute for Research in Africa and a French Institute of South Africa as well. In 2015, he did a TED Talk talking about how Africa is the forward that the world needs to face. Sadly, he passed away on board the Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 whilst on his way to an African Union conference. So while that's really, really disheartening, they've made this award to commemorate him and commemorate his legacy, because he really encompassed Pan-Africanism and what it stands for and what it means. Really proud that they've made this award in his legacy, because he did such amazing work. And so it truly is a great honour that my work has been recognised in his legacy. So I feel really grateful for that. Now we've kind of talked about why the award exists, and now we're going to talk about some of the things that both me and my brother have done that has led me to be recognised for the award. I was actually born in South Africa, and our mum is Indian and our dad is Jamaican. So we've always been brought up in a really multicultural family, and I think both of us have really enjoyed all of the different aspects of both cultures. But I think I would say the one thing I have struggled with is kind of, it begs the question, where do you belong? Because you don't really quite fit into society anywhere. And so that feeling of solidarity has led me to be passionate about empowering young people to have pride in their heritage and where they come from. So when I was younger, I was involved in a local Black youth group in Mitcham. The group encourages young people to get involved in charitable work, and that also helps to get them off the streets as well. So one of the ways they do that is we put on showcases. So the kids are so talented, they can sing and dance, and some of these showcases have actually been broadcasted by BBC and Sky News. So then on top of that, the money that we've raised through some of these things, we donated to the Woods World's Mission. So this is basically a charitable organisation, and it supports a school in Ghana, in Akosombo. And me and my brother have both been to Ghana quite a few times to visit the school and help out and teach the children and paint the classrooms and things like that. So NJ, you can talk a bit about that. So talk about your experience in Ghana, how you felt about it, and some of the things that we've done and got involved with while we're out there.
Yeah, so quite recently, obviously before COVID, we managed to go to Ghana, and we always like to visit the school we've been talking about, so this Woodward's Mission School. And I think it's just really great to see how it's kind of developed over the years, given that it started off kind of very small, just I think maybe one building with maybe 20 or 30 students. Well, even though it's relatively small, it's so vital to the few kids that it did help, given that Akosombo in Ghana is quite a rural area. So for many kids, this is their only chance at getting an education. And especially since that Ebola affected some of these children and left them orphaned, this has given them a new lease of life and like a family outside of maybe their own circumstance, which they can connect to and develop. But I think what is really heartening to see is how much it's progressed nowadays. So they've got a primary school, and even recently they're in the process of building a secondary school, which will be able to increase their capacity to almost 200, 300 students, which is incredible, really.
Crazy, yeah.
Considering where they came from. And I think we often take for granted the education system. At its most basic level, it is essential to our lives, and without it, most people would not be in the position they're in today. And I think it really is nice to give you an appreciation, especially at university, where you might have libraries that you can go to. You don't really think about how hard it is to just obtain a book or maybe go on a computer. But for them, I think when we made a few donations for their computer rooms, even though in modern world technology, these might be slightly old technology, for them, it's almost everything because it gives them a learning experience, something they've never seen before. And I think that's the beauty of education, because through our lives, we're always continually learning. And for these kids, it's almost the start of their journey, and everyone deserves to start with something.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think coming from a girl of colour, I feel even more grateful for the experience of education, because I think what you have to remember as well, sometimes in African culture, the girl is in charge of doing the cleaning, doing the housework, and they're they're not always kind of set up to go through education, and sometimes have to get pulled back to stay at home and do the chores. And I think one of the really hard things, and why the school was set up in the first place, is because children didn't have a local school. These kids would get on 3 buses to get to school. That's how desperately they wanted to learn. So that's really, I think, why the school was set up in the first place, to provide them with an education. But what they realised was that many girls weren't coming to school because they were getting married off, they were doing the housework. And so what they did was they set up dormitories where the children now live at the school. It's become their home, it's become a safe haven for them, where they can really thrive and grow and learn and receive that education that's so important and is going to help them go out into the world and truly live their full potential and create change of their own. And so I'm so happy that we've been able to contribute to some of these kids' lives, and that they've been given this opportunity in life that potentially they wouldn't otherwise have. There's so much that we wanted to cover because our journey has been really fruitful, and there was quite a few things that we wanted to talk about. In return for taking the time to listen to us, we want to help you guys so that maybe you can go out into the world, and if you're inspired to help Black communities, we want to show people that you don't need to go to Black youth groups and volunteers. You don't need to go to Ghana in order to help, contribute towards people's lives. We just want to share simple ways that you can literally do from the space of your own home in your free time that will impact people's lives. I think sometimes when people want to help, they kind of look at the problem and it seems too big, and they think they can't possibly do anything to help. And actually, I think it's every little act of kindness, every little tiny change that you make is actually going to have such a huge impact on the world. So some of the simple ways that you can do that is just by making donations to Black charities, to the World's Wide Mission if you want, because there's still so much to do. There's still so much building that's going on, and they continue to need money to help run the school. So actually that would be a really good place to start if you guys are interested in donating any money. Of course, you can always look to spend your money for any products that you use in Black owned businesses. You can read books by Black authors. Also, now you want to talk about race, how to be anti-racist. There's so many great Black authors and just so many great books, not even about race even, but just the fact that you want to broaden your horizons and maybe open your perspective and viewpoint on Black communities and maybe some of the things that they experience. The fact that, this conversation involves Black and white people wanting to be able to learn and understand and empathize with other people is such a noble and amazing thing to do, and is really going to be the thing that helps to change lives and help to make the world a better place. And I think with all of our things that we've done, we've never wanted to do this for a recognition or for a award or for a medal. We've done it because we've loved it, and it's been a humbling, rewarding experience. And so I really do encourage people to go out there and do the same, because it not only does it help so many other people, but it also helps you grow as a person and makes you more grateful for everything that you have. Okay, so I think that's everything that we wanted to talk about in this video, I think. Anything that you had to add, little man?
I think we covered most things, but thank you for listening. And I just think that getting involved with the community is just a great way to enrich your life in whatever you do. I think for us, Pan-Africanism is definitely like a passion of ours, but community work in general is such a pillar of kind of how society works in general, because if we don't look after our neighbour or care about the other people that we're living with, then how can we all expect to live happily within the society? So I think just whatever you do, I think it's just great to think about other people as much as you think about yourself, because in that way your life will be better for it.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, well, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll catch you in the next video.